Eve, you getting ready, man? There's gonna be some big fights coming up, and I know that tournament format is something you like, the 2 fights in one night.
Yeah, I mean, it's old school, you know what I mean? So I love going back to that. I mean, that's what this sport is about. It's about digging deep and bringing the best out of yourself, and that's what you have to do. Also, the second part to that is you have to be able to change gears, change lanes. You are fighting possibly a striker in the first fight, maybe a wrestler in the second fight, which means that you have to prepare for the best guy possible. You don't necessarily prepare for one opponent. You prepare for the best guy possible at every skill set, and then you have to show what all that preparation is led you to.
So I imagine cardio is at the forefront in these camps, right? Cardio and then recovery. Do you like these fighters? Are you hearing that that's what they do? They mimic that fight night, fighting, going and resting, and then coming back in an hour and a half to do it again?
A lot of guys do that. I don't necessarily think that's necessary, though. I mean, especially the way MMA fighters train, you put in a hard session, and then you have a short break, and then you go put in another hard session. I would condense the time in between them, but cardio is definitely the biggest thing. I mean, you have to be able to function. What do they say? Fatigue makes cowards of men. Mm-hmm. You know, and you can't fatigue in these fights, but you also have to have that ability to recover in a short amount of time to go out there and do it again. You know, being able to fight 2 fights in one night, you know you have to perform, right? You know what you have to go out there and do, but you have to focus on the task at hand. And that is when I believe fighters are at their best, when they're in the moment. You know, you can't be worried about who's going to win the other fight and who you're going to get next. This is what the fans are going to see out of the best guys. The guys that are going to make it through this tournament, the guys that are going to end up fighting on New Year's Eve, those are the guys that are going to be focused on the moment.
Wrapping up on the personal side, can you share some news? You know, obviously what happened in the Bahamas, but also a lot of people don't know. You spent a lot of time in Houston as well, and they've had their issues. Can you kind of share some updates and family stuff?
So, in the Bahamas, that was a real hard thing. I mean, I've lived through a couple of hurricanes myself. Nothing like what happened in Abaco. I have a lot of friends in Abaco. I have some extended family in Abaco, and basically the whole island has been wiped out. I don't think there's a livable house on the island. If anybody knows me, they know that I'm all about all of my people, and I don't just mean Bahamians. I mean everybody in the diaspora. I mean everybody in the Caribbean. And we have a lot of Haitians in the Bahamas, and Haitians are like second-class citizens in the Bahamas. There's a small town called Mud in Abaco, and that town pretty much got wiped out. The death toll was, last time I checked, was sitting at 50, and I expect it to still increase. But fortunately, the hurricane's over, and we have a lot of relief efforts going on there. People are being, rescued, found. A lot of people have moved over to New Providence, which is the capital, which is where where most of the things that you see about the Bahamas is filmed and videotaped. And
that's the more tourist side.
It's primary tourist attraction is Nassau, Bahamas. That's where Atlantis is, the new Hotel Bahamas. That's where you see a lot of the cool videos that you see coming out of the Bahamas. But this happened in the northern Bahamas. Abaco is beautiful. The whole country looks just like it does when you see anything on video. But Abaco is further north. I think Abaco would be the 3rd most populated island in the country. And so the amount of people there that have been damaged, that have been hurt, that have lost everything. I mean, I'm talking about people that have lost everything. I've heard some people, I've heard a man talk about watching his wife drown. And trying to hold on to her, trying to help her, not being able to do so, and then having to leave for his own safety. And that's just in Abaco. And then we had the same thing happen in Grand Bahama, Freeport, mostly on the eastern end of the island. But the airports have been wiped out. There's a lot of people that need a lot of help, and I've been doing a little myself, trying to help. I have other friends and other people that are helping. There's a lot of other countries throughout the Caribbean and the world that have been helping, and I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate that. I mean, I left the Bahamas for an opportunity, which means that there aren't a whole lot of opportunities there. So for something like this to happen and take away the few opportunities that already exist, the help that everybody's given, I gotta say thank you.
Alrighty, well, thanks for the time, and please update us on the situation in the Bahamas. We would love to continue to help, including the Amazon wish list, for example. I don't know if you want to plug that. Was that on your social media as well? Because you and I communicated through text, but is that available on social media?
Yes.
Go in and help?
So I did post an Amazon wish list, which helps the people in Abaco and Grand Bahama with a lot of relief supplies. That is posted on my social media, on Instagram and on Twitter. And my social media tag is Thug Jitsu Master. That's THUGJITSU Master. And it's the link in my bio. It's a lot of the things that the people there need, and anything that you can do to help is so greatly appreciated.